think a lot of people are missing this when you try to assess what Oklahoma is going to be in 2025. The most important position in college football, arguably the most important position in all of sports, is quarterback. And Oklahoma now, when you look at what they have on their schedule and who they have at quarterback, I think they probably have the quarterback advantage in the vast majority of their games. So what does that mean for Oklahoma here in 2025? We'll unpack it right now. Before we do that, though, make sure you are subscribed right here to the On3 YouTube channel, baby. This show, The Hard Count, college football, nothing but college football year-round. It's a pleasure and an honor to do that with y'all, so make sure you are subscribed. If you're an Oklahoma fan and you want more Sooner content, the best way to let us know that now is by subscribing to the channel. Appreciate y'all in advance for rocking with us. Okay, so like I just said, John Mateer was an absolute dog last year at Washington State. Check out the stats by Cato here in this full-page graphic, man. One, the graphic is nice, okay, so shouts out to Cato. Passing yards, over 3,000. Darn near 1,000 in the rushing yard total. 44 total touchdowns. Had a game where went for $197 on the ground. Dude's a freak show. All right, now I hear all this talk around, well, JD, Washington State this, Washington State that, their schedule. I don't care, dude. I don't care if it was in the AFC West or if it was in the Mighty Might division of Pop Warner. You put up those numbers, I'm impressed, and that's going to translate in some way, shape, or form to the competition you play against. So what I just said, the schedule for Oklahoma and the quarterback matchups they have, I think it's very, very sneaky that Oklahoma, I think, is going to have the advantage in a lot of those games. So let's just go through the schedule here game by game. Let's start with Michigan. Okay, Bryce Underwood, I think he's going to be awesome, right? Very, very clearly. I think he's going to be awesome. However, be his first road start if he ends up being your guy for you. Okay, Jackson Arnold. We're going to go ahead and bypass Temple. Jackson Arnold at Auburn. He's good. I don't have as much production to go off of with him to put him over John Mateer. Okay, Arch Manning. Think he's going to be really good. I think Arch Manning is going to be awesome, but there's nothing there for me as of right now from a body of work standpoint to put Arch Manning ahead of John Mateer. Now, Lenora Sellers, I can say I think he's probably the one that you would give the edge of South Carolina there. But then you start comparing rosters. Is Oklahoma in a better spot rosters-wise than South Carolina? I'd probably lean Oklahoma there. Ole Miss and Austin Simmons. Think he's great? Don't know. Joey Aguilar, Tennessee. Don't know. Alabama. Can you even tell me he's playing quarterback? Bo Pabula at Missouri. I don't know. Garrett Nussmeier, you probably give him the nod in that spot with LSU. Just because he has the proven production in the conference, the most sure thing in the conference as of right now. But, I mean, we just went through that entire schedule. There's 2 games that you're talking about a superior quarterback for the opposite side as we sit here right now. Now, I get all this could change. Arch could be awesome, and maybe you feel differently when you get to Red River as a third-party college football fan breaking down that game. You say, okay, maybe the quarterback edge goes to Texas. But, right now, what are we standing on to make that claim that the other quarterbacks in this schedule for Oklahoma they're up against are better than John Mateer? And if you have a better quarterback in that spot, are you not already at an advantage in a certain spot to go win that football game? I feel like that's pretty straightforward. I don't think we're breaking any news here, but you break down the schedule for Oklahoma and people keep saying, well, JD, look at all the teams they have to play and it's so difficult and all that. And it's like, yes, I totally hear what you're saying, but if you have a better quarterback, I think you should feel pretty confident walking out there against anybody. And also to put another point to this, it's not just the production that we talked about with John Mateer, it's everything else that he brings, because we talk a lot about the other stuff. And when we break down different college football teams and their strengths and weaknesses, you can break down what's on paper, and I like a lot of what Oklahoma has on paper. But the other stuff is the unquantifiables to where when you watch a game on a Saturday afternoon in the fall, that might be the difference. It's why Michigan beat Ohio State. You could argue it's why Florida beat LSU last year. It's the other stuff. It's the intensity, it's the focus, it's the swag, it's all those things. And I think John Mateer, in addition to the production, I think he majors in the other stuff. Because when you think about Oklahoma and those great teams they've had previously, they've had a guy at quarterback, yes, but they've had a true dude with some extra swag and confidence at quarterback. And that's the thing to me. Like, I feel like John Mateer brings the swag back to Norman. I'm not saying he's Baker. I'm not saying he's Kyler Murray. I'm not saying he's Jalen Hurts, but I think he has a similar sort of vibe to him that those guys had, which is as long as I'm playing quarterback and I'm touching the football every offensive snap, we're going to have a chance. I believe that as the quarterback, and so my belief is going to be infectious to the rest of this locker room, rest of this offense. Defense picks up on it. We're going to be in good shape because we're competitively already believing what we have because of who we have at quarterback. I don't think that's something that's overstated in this whole discussion. So you talk about John Mateer and the advantage at quarterback and all those things. As you play that out, then, what does it come down to for Oklahoma if you feel good about your roster, you feel good about your quarterback? I just said the schedule, right? Well, the schedule is one thing. I don't think when you the schedule doesn't concern me so much as it does maybe the order of games on the schedule, if that makes sense. Like, the big thing that's going to be tested here for Oklahoma in 2025 is the Brent Venables culture. It's year 4 now, man. Like, it is a show-me-something kind of year. And in year 4, at that point, you should have your culture installed. And the reason why I harp on culture so much here is that's going to make the difference when you're going October up to November 1st. Like, are you able to be tough enough mentally, physically, competitively? Are you mature enough to handle the game where you play Texas, then you're at South Carolina, and oh, by the way, then you got Ole Miss, and then you're at Tennessee? Can you handle that stretch? And then just for good measure, you play Bama and LSU in the month of November as well. Like, are you able to be the same team or as close as possible to the same team competitively every single week? If you can, Oklahoma's going to have a shot. Oklahoma is going to have a shot. Do not be surprised in the slightest if we're sitting here on Selection Sunday and Oklahoma is in the mix. I don't have them in the playoff as of right now with our first playoff bracket we put out. We're going to do another playoff prediction here as we get closer to the season, our official prediction for the 2025 college football season. And I don't want to make any definitive statements on that right now, but I'm saying Oklahoma, they could backdoor their way in here. It could happen. So here's my last thing I'll say about this. Oklahoma, to me right now, in the world that is the college football national conversation right now, a lot of people sort of fall in love with different takes. Like, we fall in love with what Florida is or what Texas is going to be. And I think the further we get into this, I'm kind of like, is Oklahoma getting left behind in this discussion? Like, I keep pointing to that storm on the horizon, and I say, hey, look, that looks like a rain cloud. Looks like a thunderstorm coming. And it's way off in the distance. People say, no, don't worry about that. It's going to dissipate. It's going to eventually run out of steam, whatever. Keeps getting closer and closer and closer. Hey, I don't know. They just got Jade Knott. Hey, I don't know. They did a pretty good job in the transfer portal. Hey, I don't know. They got Jim Nagy as their GM. Hey, I don't know. That roster keeps coming together. I keep hearing good things out of Norman. No, don't worry about it. It's Oklahoma. They went 6-7 last year. At some point in time, I think that storm is going to arrive, and you're going to have to deal with Oklahoma. Now, that narrative is going to take shape very, very quickly because they get Michigan that second game of the year, which a lot of people will be watching. But do not be surprised at all if that storm arrives in the version of Oklahoma and John Mateer, and they end up being a problem for whoever they have on their schedule any given week. So I can't wait to watch it. But Oklahoma, I counted 10 out of 12 games. I would say they have the quarterback advantage right now. Don't be shocked if that translates from paper to the grass here this college football season. For Caden Smith on the 1s and 2s, for myself, Judy PicKell, again, make sure you are subscribed. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We will keep this party rolling, and we will see y'all next time.